What is going on, guys? It is your boy KG for life here. Today, as we're going down the lane of people asking me questions about Cookie Run Kingdom, my other question that I get asked about a lot is, what are the best builds and what is the best in slot for your toppings that you need for certain cookies? Per se, what are the best toppings for the cookies that are in the meta and the cookies that are not in meta that people still use sometimes. So we're gonna make this as easy as possible, and we're gonna go down the list as the most important from the most important cookies to the least important cookies. But we're not gonna go through this whole entire list, of course, because that's gonna take hours and hours on end for me to do that. We're not gonna do that, by the way. Okay. We're going to we're gonna start at the tippy top, and then we're gonna go down to the bottom. The bottom to where probably like the top 15 cookies at least. So, you know what? Since he's up here at the top, we're gonna start here with the one, the only Vampire Cookie. Vampire Cookie has recently just became meta. And with him just becoming meta, there's a lot of builds out there that people want to know what to use. Right now, I am using full searing raspberry toppings on Vampire Cookie. With Vampire Cookie being so far one of the best cookies in this new meta, he is one of the most important. This isn't the best in slot that I have for him right now, because the ones you want to focus on with Vampire Cookie is damage resist, attack, and crit. I want to say you want to have more crit as well. So you want to be able to focus on those main three aspects. Having the other ones, as you can see here, for my defense, my attack, and my crit, all the stuff is not my best in slot stuff. Alright? So that's what you want to focus on with him. And that's just going off of doing bosses, being in the boss battle with him. He's amazing at it. So, next, we're gonna go ahead and go to Seafarer Cookie here. Seafarer Cookie is still trying to push her way into keeping herself in the meta. It's very hard for her, but she's still getting there. Right now, we have her set with full searing raspberries, along with some damage resist. You always want to try to work on damage resist on any of your toppings that you get. Damage resist is a must in this meta. Having damage resist is going to save you a ton of time and a ton of effort on certain things. But with Seafarer, you want more attack, probably extra attack on your things here. Let me see if I can find one. Here we go, right here. So, as you can see with this searing raspberry, it's really a decent best in slot for now, because she is rocking damage resist, defense, and extra attack. So double attack bonus helps a lot coming from her, because you want to do as much damage as possible. Now, there's another thing going around to where she used full solid almond. And it's only worth it to use the full solid almond on 1127. 1127 is where you want to use it at. Because with raspberry giving the idea of hitting your most highest attacking cookie, she's going to focus on Seafarer before she focuses on anybody else, if Seafarer is in your team. With that being said, there's a comp that's going around with doing 1127, and that has to deal with Seafarer doing full solid almond. That's why I have the one almond right there. But it's not too important, but it's a food for thought. Alright, next we're gonna go and we're going to look at Eclair. Now, Eclair is the end all be all when it comes to a good damage dealer. So, as you can see here, with some of the best in slot toppings, you are running extra attack, you're running damage resist, and you want to put crit. Those are your main three substats that you want to include into your toppings, into building your toppings, for Eclair especially. He does have, in certain battles, he does have damage reflection, so you have to be careful with that. That's where the extra damage resist comes from. But there's also another one where you do full swift chocolates. Getting yourself into the good damage resisting and the good cooldown, damage resist to cooldown ratio for Eclair to keep on using his ability is the best way to run with swift chocolates. So how I recommend running your swift chocolate builds for Eclair is damage resist, some attack, and cooldown. You want to be able to keep him alive when he does his stuff, especially in guild boss battles. That's what you want to do. He's pretty much short, simple, straight to the point. Let's look down the list here. Sorbet Shark Cookie. Okay? Sorbet Shark Cookie. You want to run 2 different sets on him. Either with chocolates or searing raspberry. Searing raspberry is going to help you with 1127 if you want to use sorbet instead of using Eclair or Seafarer. You want to use sorbet. He's probably one of the best ones to use in 1127. We're rocking damage resist, attack, and the main stat for this one would have to be the cooldown. It's very versatile with Sorbet Shark, but your main thing is try to get a double attack bonus on your substats. Damage resist is a good bonus to have. Attack speed is also a good thing to have. There's not really a decent best in slot for Sorbet because he's very it is very versatile. Sorbet is a shark. I can't be gender neutraling a shark. So it. Sorry about that. If I defended anybody, I'm sorry. Anyways, for its swift chocolate build, you want to focus on some damage resist, some cooldown, and attack speed. Those, as you can see, what my things are running. You want to focus highly on attack speed, cooldown, and damage resist. Damage resist is probably the main meta in this game. The cookies don't matter. The damage resist is what matters. You get a good damage resist set bonus on your cookies, you're pretty much golden. Your cookies are gonna hardly die. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and keep on going down. So, Avogado Cookie. Next would be Avogado Cookie. I tell people to build Avogado Cookie as soon as you get them. Because if you're gonna try to pursue yourself into the story, he is needed for, was it 1410? I think it's 1410, I believe. I could be wrong. I'll look back at it later. But with Avogado Cookie, he's not really needed right now. So if you're not that far into the game, I would just not worry about him until you get him and start building him up. This is my guild boss battle things right here. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am a semi free-to-play player. I am gonna give you the genuine things that I do as a semi free-to-play player. So as you can see, none of these are leveled up, by the way. None are. And I'm okay with that, because he still does his damage in guild boss battles. I'm fine with that. He does have full searing raspberry set on his second topping presets. For topping presets, you wanna work on cooldown. you want to work on damage resist, and you want to work on crit. And probably a little, well, yeah, maybe a little bit more attack maybe, but cooldown and damage resist, because the more that he can use his ability, the more debuffs he'll give. So that's the best way to run him. So don't mind my toppings, trust believe me, I can fix them anytime I want to. I'm just lazy, okay? Leave me alone. I'm okay with that. Alright. Alright. So, our next cookie that is going to be the most important cookie to date in any update, unless she somehow gets dethroned, which is a high possibility that it will happen eventually, but not right now. She is the most important cookie on your roster. Cotton Cookie is literally just one build and one build only. You want to give her the best in slot cooldowns and constant cooldown. That's it. You want to work on cooldown. Swift chocolate, as you can see on all of my cooldown toppings, I'm running cooldown 1.8, 2%, 1.8%, 2%, 2%. The max you can get on a cooldown for Swift chocolate is 2%. That's where your best in slot will come from. You want to work regular cooldown and then 100% cooldown. Now, other things that would work good with her is an amplify buff. Yes, before anybody says anything, amplify buff sucks, but everybody knows it does. But the buff that she gives other cookies will work. And it always works. Because that buff that she gives you with the... give me 1 second. No, it is. Okay, I'm stupid. Don't mind me. We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. But anyways. With that being said, some damage resist is okay, but your main focus is cooldown. Once you get cooldown on Cotton all the way to the max percentage you can get cooldown on her, then you can start working on anything else you want to work on. Maybe amplify buff if you're feeling a little bit lucky, but damage resist is a must. Cooldown is 100% the top tier thing you need for her. So that's what I recommend for Cotton. As you can see, I only have one build on her because that's the only build you need. Alright, next. So, next up would be Wildberry. Wildberry Cookie is so far meta. If you're not using him, you're gonna be going against him in arena teams galore. He's there. It's him and Dark Cacao. So, it's pretty straightforward with Wildberry. Damage resist. I'm gonna repeat that again. Damage resist. There's nothing else you need that's a best in slot that damage resist. Nothing else matters on this guy. Maybe cooldown. Actually, yes. Maybe cooldown would work too. So, damage resist and cooldown. The higher the damage resist on your Wildberry Cookie, the better you are at doing what you need to do. It's story mode. It's Cookie Alliance. Anything that you can think about in this game, Wildberry Cookie is going to be at the forefront as a tank. So, that's as straightforward as Wildberry can get. Dark Cacao. My Dark Cacao is in the Hall of Ancient Heroes because I got lazy enough to not put him to level 60. So, with Dark Cacao, same thing goes with him. Damage resist and cooldown. I don't have cooldown on here, so don't mind me, but cooldown and damage resist, and attack speed. Yeah, attack speed works well with him as well. Attack speed's really decent to have. So damage resist, maybe a little bit of attack speed, splash, a little bit of crit resist in there to help you live against anybody else that's using anything. And maybe debuff resist too, if you're lucky. But the main key, damage resist, attack speed. And you're golden. The more he can attack, the better he's off. That big sword of his. Alright. On her, but not too much of a build. Yeah, she is a build. Okay, yeah, we'll do Financier then, yeah. Okay. So, next cookie is one of the brand new cookies that just came out as of recently this update. If you haven't got her, you got about 17 more days until this video has been dropped. 17 more days until we don't get her as a banner anymore. So, you might want to pull for her as soon as you get her, because she is actually very helpful in some story modes, stuff. And actually, she's going top of the line when it comes to playing in Arena too. I haven't used her in Arena yet, but I do have a build that's ready and set for her when it comes to it. She isn't fully stacked up yet, but I highly recommend damage resist, cooldown, and amplify buff. Those are the main 3 key ingredients that you want to use for Financier. The more she can use her cooldown, the better. Her buff for the one that she's going to give to the attacker, even better. That if you get it at 6%, be willing. But try to focus more on damage resist. What I would do first is get the damage resist to max, or if you can try to get it to max, get it to max, and then work on the cooldown and amplify buff after. Yeah, but in order, damage resist, cooldown, amplify buff would be the last thing you do. Everything else can come in whenever you feel like it. So, she's not that bad. She's a very good cookie. I recommend getting her and using her 10 out of 10. She's really good on 1027 as well, if you haven't noticed yet. She's really good at 1127, if you haven't used it yet. So, I'd recommend using her, because I've been using her a lot, and people have been asking me why. And I have to show them at 1127 why she's so good. Okay. Alright, peoples. So the next cookie that we got going on here is vanilla cookie. Pure vanilla cookie. Drawing a blank because I am hungry and my mind is going bleh. I need to eat. I need to stop doing that. Alright. So pure vanilla cookie. My pure vanilla cookie is running full Swift chocolates, but there's also another build that you can use with them, and I'm literally going to do it right off the whim. You want to go cooldown, right? Three cooldowns, and then the rest is going to be solid almonds. 3 Swift chocolates, 2 solid almonds. Focus on damage resist, more cooldown. Max cooldown, and you know, that's pretty much good with that type of build. But with Swift chocolate, more cooldown the better. As you saw, my cotton cookie was at a 24% plus, 24+%. So the way that you want to work around that is make him give you more cooldown, more damage resist, because he is targeted a lot. So more damage resist, more cooldown. That's the slots for him, 100%. For him, yeah, I have the build for him. Okay, so Espresso cookie is one of the OG cookies that's come out in Cookierunkingdom. He recently has just became meta for the fact of you are getting magic candy. As you can see, I don't have my magic candy ranked up to everybody else has, it's at level 30 or whatever. I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't have the type of money to spend in this game. But what I recommend for Espresso is full solid almond. Full solid almond, try to get a lot of damage resist, try to get a better cooldown on him, because he is going to be targeted in the arena buy Vampire and pretty much, you know, pretty much what you see is what you're going to get out of him. And you need him to survive. If you're minus 10, if you're not at 10 plus mark, you want him to survive. Let's say he does have a 10 plus cookie magic candy. Serum raspberry. Without a doubt, serum raspberry. The stronger he can attack, the better. Strongest cookie right now has to be vampire. So, crunchy choco chip. Crunchy chip. I call him choco chip. I don't know why. Don't mind me. There are two separate builds for him, as you can see here. But he is used in the Summoner's comp, which is really good in this meta right now. I don't have the best damage resist on him right now because, like I said, I'm still working on these becoming a thing. As you can see, I only have 345. I'm not going to be able to do too much. But you want to work on how everybody tells you. You want to work on your crunchy chip cookie to be a raid boss. You want people to have a hard time killing him, and that's just the maximum damage resist that you can get on him. You want to go full on damage resist and maybe attack. I would say a little bit more attack and damage resist, and he's going to become an unkillable raid boss. In the arena, he's really good. Let's do Oyster Cookie. Okay. Here's the thing with Oyster Cookie that people don't understand. Oyster Cookie has a stipulation that comes with her that kind of makes her bad, but also kind of makes her good. And that stipulation is the more cooldown you have, the more soldiers you're able to produce with her skill. With a maximum of 4. So you only get 4 oyster soldiers at a time. But you also get plus attack, plus defense, minus cooldown, plus shield, plus defense, plus a lot of stuff. You get a lot of stuff when you have all 4 of the soldiers, the oyster soldiers. So the stipulations in making this happen are as easy as getting the cooldown to 24.3%. That's literally the best percentage you can get on her right now. You want to have her at 24.3. Then you're going to have the chocolate set effect, which is giving you the plus 5%. So you're going to have a 29%, 29.3%. And the thing with her is you have to have this jelly watch. You have to have the jelly watch. The jelly watch is your #1 key to getting 4 soldiers. Any other thing that you have going with her toppings, cooldown, damage resist. Make sure she stays alive. Make sure she can use her things ridiculously fast. That's the best way to do it. Then there's also another one that people are using that only gives you 2 soldiers, and that's the 3 solid almond, 2 swift chocolates. So you want to be able to do that, or the 3 solids, 2 swifts, to be able to keep her alive, but only you'll be able to have 2 soldier tokens. 2 soldiers. For people who want to go above and beyond, 24.3% cooldown, 5% cooldown on your set, and jelly watch. And then you should be fine. And you'll always max yourself out at 4 soldiers, doing the most damage, of course. And also make sure you use pin cushion as well. Those are the stipulations with having her on your team. It sucks, I know. By the way, chat, swallow, thank you, Jesus Christ. Alright. Next cookie we're going to be dealing with isn't really a meta cookie. She isn't a meta cookie. But she is used in the Summoner's Comp. She is very useful in the Summoner's Comp. And she's also useful at 1330, I think it is. Wherever the goo monster is. That's where she's also useful because of the minus healing ability that she gives. So, Pumpkin loves to die a lot. Don't mind this, because that's something else I was dealing with. Or testing out. With Pumpkin Pie, she is ranged, so she needs to be set in the middle. But there's a lot of cookies out there that focus the middle lane more than they focus any other lane, you know. So what I recommend with Pumpkin Pie is running damage resist with a little bit of cooldown, because she needs to stay alive. She is very squishy. She is one of the most squishiest cookies out there. She doesn't have a lot of defense, so she's very squishy. You want to keep her alive so she can keep on using Pom Pom. Pom Pom is her summoner. So you want to use Pom Pom. You want to have the stipulation that comes with her as well. Sorry, the stipulation that comes with her as well of using this I'm gonna cut that out. The stipulation that you want with her is the cushion. Sorry guys, I am so sorry. Oh man. Yeah, the cushion. You want to use that, because without that, her thing isn't going to stay alive too often. So, to recap with Pumpkin Pie, with her, damage resist, cooldown, and that's pretty much it for her, because you want her to stay alive. That's all it is. And also use the cushion. The cushion's going to help a lot with that idea of keeping her alive. Alright. Alrighty people, that is going to be the end of this YouTube video. I know I probably didn't miss some cookies. I probably missed the Guild Boss Battle Team, which I did put some in there. I didn't put them all in there, but I did put some in there. And if there's a cookie that you want me to give you a build on that I have a build on already, I have a build on most of my cookies. So if there's a build that you want to see on a cookie and me explaining why I have that said build on a cookie, please leave a comment down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And I'm always live at twitch.tv/KG for life. If you ever want to come by and say what's up, tell me YouTube sent you. I would love to hear that. But the meta is going to be ever changing, and the meta is going to always change no matter how many cookies we have coming out. No matter what type of cookies are going to come out, there's always going to be a meta shift. As just recently, we just had one. So these builds are as up to date as they can be, and take them with a grain of salt and put your own twist to them. It wouldn't really matter, because I'm not going to gatekeep you and telling me that you run jelly beans on your pumpkin pie, or you run HP on your vampire. I'm going to tell you it's wrong, but I want you to have fun, and I want you to see what's wrong and what's right in your own terms. So this has been your boy KG for life, and I appreciate you for watching this video straight through. Yes, this has been a very long video, and I'm sorry, but I had to get this out there because I keep on getting asked this question. So, next video is probably going to be a little bit more along the world exploration teams that I use that actually work. So, stick tuned to that. We're going to focus on some things, and I will see y'all in the next video. Deuces!